the former British Army intelligence and security officer Philip Ingram. OK, let's talk our viewers all through this, Philip. So much happening. The Wagner Group's involvement, it reaches further than Ukraine has. I mean, how important is that?
Well, hugely further than Ukraine, and it's very important indeed. You know, we've got Russian influence in the dark red Ukraine there, but Wagner are also in Syria, Libya, the Central African Republic, Mali, Mozambique, and they're controlling a lot of the natural resources that are there. Diamonds, gold, working into governments to support corrupt governments and piling off money. And all of that money is going up into Moscow, into Vladimir Putin and into the oligarchs that are there. And Prigozhin, with his Wagner Group, are helping to facilitate that. That's important in the moment whenever there are sanctions stopping a lot of these oligarchs from being able to move the money around in their bank accounts. They need these valuable assets, the diamonds, the gold and all the rest of it. So it puts Prigozhin in a very powerful position.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't realise quite how widespread it was. Where does it leave Wagner in the current situation in Ukraine, then? Well,
in Ukraine, you know, Wagner were fighting into Bakhmut. They'd been fighting for about 18 months into there. We've talked about it continuously. About a 42 square kilometre area, 7 kilometres long. It took them 18 months to capture all of that. Yesterday, they did sort of 800 kilometres in a day. But they're not in Ukraine anymore. They had handed over at the end of May, beginning of June, moved out to try and build their capability up again. And then yesterday, they did that piece into Rostov-on-Don. As we heard earlier, the counteroffensive, the Ukrainian counteroffensive, is still going on. We're getting an attack into the north of Bakhmut from the Ukrainians. That's one of the axes that they've got in, down to the south of Donetsk, and they're trying to get through the Donetsk Zaporizhia Oblast border. You always try and attack through a border. And then another attack going down from Zaporizhia down towards Tokmak, trying to split that land bridge and the critical lines of communication that there are there. That's been going on today. What's happened the last couple of days hasn't really affected what's been going on in the front line.
Right, OK. And let's talk about the wider impact then. What impact does this have on Ukraine and Russia going forwards?
Well, the interesting thing is there's a lot we don't know, and we have to put that into perspective. And when you start to examine a lot of what happened yesterday, you know, here we've got Prigozhin sitting in the Southern Military Command headquarters talking to the Deputy Defence Minister, Russia's Deputy Defence Minister, and the Deputy Commander of the GRU, the First Directorate, Russian Military Intelligence, who helped form Wagner at the very beginning. It's part of a video. It's a still from a video. It wasn't an aggressive meeting. It was a strong business meeting. This wasn't someone who'd captured an area with a fight and he was being held account, or people that he had taken prisoner. And remember, the FSB, Russia's security service, had issued an arrest warrant for Prigozhin by then. This looks as if there was some understanding and cooperation that had been going on beforehand. So I think this is one big question of who was behind it and supporting Prigozhin the whole way through, and therefore how is that going to play out as we look at where it's going in the future.